Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mic Check Tech 2 podcast, brought to you by the Inside Edge Network. Once again, I am your host, the DAVID, the Real Ruiz, and I'm joined here with my co-host, everyone's favorite season, Autumn. But before we get started, Autumn has a couple things she wants to let everybody know of. Autumn?
Yes. Hold on. Give me a second. My phone just decided to not bring up what I needed. Yes. Few housekeeping notes. Of course, like, follow, and subscribe to Inside Edge Network on social media. Please support the Inside Edge Network by liking, subscribing, and following us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Follow us at Inside Edge Net. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cleveland's digital leader for sports, entertainment, and mental health. Also, we do have a merch store at the Inside Edge Network. Go to InsideEdgeNet.com where you can get all and see all of your favorite personalities on the network. You'll see me, you'll see David, you'll see anybody else on any different show. So please support us and support independent podcasting. That's all I got for right now.
Yeah. We do have another video to play from another one of our great sponsors at Fanatics. I'm sure our producer will get that going for you guys right now.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of sports apparel and jerseys from all over the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans from football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on the screen right now to celebrate your teams.
Awesome. Again, this is Mic Check Take 2, brought to you by the Inside Edge Network. Autumn.
David.
Last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers lost to the Detroit Pistons 107-97.
That game was yesterday?
That game was yesterday. I know you're trying to forget about it.
No, that's not why. That's not why. Well, it's because there's a game tomorrow, and I'm like, why are these games so close?
Is the game tomorrow?
Yes.
I thought it was Sunday.
It's either tomorrow or Sunday. Let's do it.
I think they get the extra travel day.
Let's do an extra. Let's do a little check. Give me a second here.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's tomorrow at 3:00.
Oh wow. No extra travel day for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I feel like they need it.
Well, first let's hit on something. So last week you saw us. We were kind of all over the place. We didn't leave the air till a little bit after 12. Mm-hmm. But they end up winning that series by a crazy final game in which Jared Allen takes over. Didn't I say Jared Allen needs to have an all-time game, an all-time series? And he did in Game 7. In Game 7, the Cavs were down. They come back. They tie it. The Raptors somehow kept up with them. They go into halftime tied, and then the Cavs essentially press on the gas and never let go. And they win the series in Game 7. Mm-hmm. Now we are in this Pistons series, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say something controversial.
Okay.
The Pistons, in both games, were trying their hardest to give it away. There is no way that team, the way they've been playing, the Cavs, the amount of turnovers they've had, the lack of shooting they've had, the fact that James Harden is non-existent, the fact that Donovan Mitchell at times is on the bench and you're like, why is he on the bench? There is no way that in both of those games, the Cavs tied the game. Mm-hmm. They tied the game in Game 1, and they tied and took the lead in game 2. And both of those games up until the last few minutes were relatively close. So I think in my heart of hearts, the Cavs are not playing so bad that they're trying to lose the game. The Pistons are literally giving it away, but the Cavs have no answer on offense, so it looks bad.
That I don't know about that. At one point in time, the Cavs were down by 17.
Hell, the first game they were down by like 24.
And they had
a battle. Came all the way back.
Yeah, they came all the way back. When I was listening to the announcers on the game, I was getting irritated because it sounded like I was watching the same game 2 games in a row.
You really were.
It was like the Cavs are coming back. The Cavs are taking the lead. Donovan Mitchell's at the line. Donovan Mitchell misses a clutch free throw. It's over and over and over. On top of that, we have our bigs in the game. I know game 1, Jared Allen was in foul trouble early. They took him out. Remind you, all season, their big Tobias Harris, he didn't get back-to-back games with 20 points all season. Oh. He's 5 games in a row with 20-plus points. 2 of them are against elite bigs, well, allegedly elite bigs, like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And they're letting Tobias Harris go back-to-back 20-point games. They're getting bullied in the paint. It's ugly.
First of all, if Tobias Harris is your best player, you're doing something wrong.
Tobias Harris isn't their best player. Come on. It's Cade Cunningham. It's Cade Cunningham
right now. In this playoffs right now. We know Cade Cunningham is their best player. Cade Cunningham, if he doesn't get hurt towards the end of the season, he's definitely almost a shoo-in for MVP. We talked about it. But I'm baffled here. The reason why the Cavs constantly are losing is because it's not even just the turnovers. Ironically enough, they only had 11 last game. Because I'm looking at the stats from last game. They had more free throws last game. They had four fast break points to Detroit's 13. They had more points in the paint. They had less points possessions. They had less personal fouls, and they only had the largest lead of 3. The reason why they lost the game is because they were 7 of 32 from 3.
Yeah, we shot 21.9% from 3.
Yeah.
They shot 50% from 3.
They did.
At one point in the fourth quarter, we were 0 for 9 from 3-point range. They're not taking smart shots. They're forcing shots up. You see, look, I'm this close, Autumn, this close to fully believing Donovan Mitchell's a fraud. I watched Donovan Mitchell's games. He's a two-move bandit. He's either going to shoot the 3 ball, heavily contested. For the last few games, even going back to last series, he hasn't been making them. He had the quiet 31-point game I've ever seen.
In game 7, yeah.
Well, even yesterday's game, it felt like a quiet 30. The only Donovan Mitchell has 2 moves. He's going to try that windmill over and try to hit you with a floater, which was failing. And he's going to shoot a contested 3. Now, you continuously do this while your second best player, James Harden, is having a horrible night.
10 points is ridiculous.
It's horrible.
10 points in the second round of the second game. Not only 10 points, 3 for 3 from field goal range, 0 for 4 from 3-point. You go 4 for 4 for free throws. You have 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and you have more turnovers than you do field goals. You have more turnovers than you do field goals. And I think my problem with this Cavs team right now is that they don't believe in themselves. Absolutely not. They don't believe in anything. They especially don't believe in themselves on the road. Because they have to win a game on the road.
When I watch the Cavs, we're talking about offense. We're talking about defense. We're talking about physicality. We're talking about the fundamentals. The problem is, I think it's an intensity factor. Every time I watch this Cavs team during this playoffs run, they're playing with the same intensity. Doesn't matter if they're down by 16 or if they're winning by 10. It's the same intensity constantly. They're not raising it. A big issue I'm having is Kenny Atkinson. It was lovely last night to see him get off the bench and talk to the players instead of sitting on his ass and not raising the morale and the energy of his team. A lot of this falls on him. How are you getting out coached by the coach we fired?
Look, like I said, there is no way with the stats that the Cavs have had over the last 2 games. James Harden had 10 points, y'all. 10 points. There is no way that the Cavs should be in any. They were in both of those games. They had a good chance to win both of those games. They were literally took the lead in the last game. I'm just going to say this. They have to come out tomorrow and they just have to treat every game from here on out. It has to be like game 7. It has to be, because nobody respects you. You're getting punked. These teams are running all over you. Like, it is to the point where it's obvious. Now, I've seen a ridiculous take by one Mr. Anthony Alford. He says the Cavs need to go after Giannis and blow it all up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's probably my service in here. He said that the Cavs need to go after Giannis and blow it all up.
Go after Giannis?
No. Anthony Alford. AA. What's wrong with you? No. 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 No.
See, I don't know about that. I don't know about Giannis. Look, one of the things I think we've been spoiled as Cavs fans. And what I mean by that is we were so used to the LeBron runs in the finals. And what gave me that realization is last night after the Cavs game, I watched the Lakers game for about 3.5 quarters. Then it got late. It was past my bedtime. But I watched that game. And LeBron at 41, the way he plays the game and watching his constant growth of his basketball IQ flourish. Whether you love or hate LeBron, you watch him play, he makes the right plays. When I'm watching the Cavs team, I'm like, and this is just my opinion, I was so used to watching LeBron make the right IQ play, where now when I watch this Cavs team, I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Why make that pass? And I never thought I'd say this. They're missing Sam Merrill. He kept us in the game in game 1. He probably would have been the 3rd leading scorer last game. We had Jared Allen with 22.7 boards again last game. We're getting the production we need from Jared Allen.
Well, look, the factor is there are blueprint games in this playoffs that show you what you need to do. You have to have a game like Game 7 in last series. You have to have a game like Game 2 in last series. Game 7 and Game 2 in last series was the best that they played all season. The best that they played in the playoffs and the best that they played all season. You have to get up early. You have to keep your foot on the gas. You cannot be lazy, throwing up these 3-point shots, trying to get back in. And the thing is, the Cavs do.
Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows.
What was that? The ads want to play, Autumn. The ads want to play.
Look at me. Whoever cut me off, your mom's a hoe. Your mom's a hoe. I was in the middle of your mom's a hoe.
Proceed, Autumn.
And if you don't know what that reference is, you're too young. No, for real. Like in Game 7 and Game 2, the Cavs played phenomenal in the second half and phenomenal in Game 2. And I think the biggest factor is while we are shitting on their offense, they are playing impeccable defense. I've never seen this team play the best. They've played the best defense I've ever seen them play. That's the craziest part of it, because they are keeping these games somehow close, shutting these teams down, and then their offense is just terrible. But they are playing impeccable defense.
I don't know about that. Their defense is hard for me to watch sometimes, Autumn.
They held Toronto 2 different games to under 100 points last series. Hell, in both the last 2 games, Detroit didn't score enough to where the Cavs come back twice, and they could have won it at the end. But then, of course, the wheels fell off. And it's not just age. And I know we talk about how the LeBron era definitely spoiled us. LeBron era definitely spoiled us, but it also makes me literally get PTSD because I hate that era because everything was so closely monitored and everything was just on edge. I think going forward, what this team needs to do is they need to trust themselves. They're not trusting themselves. That's the number one thing. None of them trust themselves. And if they trust themselves,
I don't know about trusting themselves. They trust themselves enough to jack up ridiculous threes with a defender in their face.
That's confidence. That's the NBA thing. That's just confidence.
They're trusting who I call the Avatar, Max Strauss, to shoot the lights out, and he shoots brick after brick.
Again, when I say trust themselves, as in they're not trusting themselves in yes, we know they're going to jack up the 3-point. Every team does that. I hate that. And we're going to get to the reason why I hate that because we're going to talk about the person who's on that team later who did that thing. But I think when I say they don't trust themselves is they don't trust themselves enough to say, okay, my 3-point shot isn't hitting. Let me go inside. Let me draw the foul. They're not trusting the fundamentals. They're just like, okay, I need to keep doing this because this is what usually works.
See, I think they trust themselves too much, to be honest. And I think that's where a lot of the turnovers come from. James Harden thinks he's gonna trust Sam Merrill or Dean Wade or Max Strus to throw a lazy pass like they're going to go after it when they're not those players.
James Harden lives in James Harden land, and I know people are so super excited for him, especially the way he played during the season, but he gets very selfish during the playoffs. I will never forget the game in Houston that Houston should have won, and Houston missed every single 3-point shot that they made in a game or that they shot in a game. Because of James Harden. So for all of those who trusted him, that's your fault. I never trusted him. The thing is,
I don't blame James Harden about I don't blame him about anything. I don't blame him for I blame him for what?
You would be surprised.
Turnovers? I don't blame him for anything because Donovan Mitchell is supposed to be taking over the game when he tries, but he's a 2-move bandit, like I said earlier, and they've been able to stop those 2 moves. Jared Allen, thankfully, the last 2 games has manned up a little and decided to score. But Evan Mobley should be the 3.
Yes, Evan Mobley.
He's been a ghost.
Yeah,
he's been the largest Casper I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. So if they're not going to, hopefully when we come home and they hear the intensity of the crowd, they can raise the energy levels because both teams we've played, Toronto and Detroit, they're both playing 100 miles a minute. And the Cavs just look lazy. They look like they don't care.
I can't hear you right now because somebody decided to call me. And usually when people call me, I can't hear anything.
Is that like
yeah,
the wave sounds from your phone to your brain? You just lock in on your phone? Are you that type of millennial?
No. See, I have my entire Apple ecosystem connected. So even if my phone is somewhere different, you can see it on my computer that my phone is ringing. So it makes everything. So I didn't hear anything you just said. Literally, I heard nothing you just said because somebody called me. Yeah, no. Honestly, there are a certain subsection of Cavs fans that I like their acumen sometimes, but I don't take some of these games as to the heart as some people. I've had to learn that my health cannot take that. But I think going forward in this series, the Cavs just have to lock in. They just have to stop making stupid mistakes, and they just have to step up. At this point, I've said all I can say about them. If they're going to continue to make dumbass mistakes, that's on them. That's on them.
So what do they need to do game 3? What has to solidify our win in game 3? We're coming home. we've won every game at home. Thankfully,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how to win on the road for some reason, but we can win at home. They need to take 2 games on the road now in order to win the series.
No, they need to take one.
One. Yes,
Yeah.
we have the 2 at home. We're going to go back to Detroit. Hopefully we take that game and we close it out at home and Cavs win in 6.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people thought that the series was going to go 6. I think that the Cavs do well at home because not only the crowd, but I think they just are more comfortable. Road environments are always comfortable, but I think the Cavs just get an extra boost of energy to be like, all right, we're at home. We can settle down. We know how to play at home. Detroit, they know how to win in Detroit. Up until this year, they were very much winning in Detroit. So I think it's just a mental thing. It's a mental thing. And it's a mental thing.
I don't know. They really need to raise the energy level.
They do. They need to lock in.
But you know what they can do to raise that energy level?
Oh, what would that be? Do you think it has something to do with Dubby Energy?
I think Dubby Energy would be the perfect thing to raise the Cavs level, Autumn.
Yes. Dubby Energy with clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Whether you're starting your workout or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 flavors to choose from. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen. Use the promo code MikeCheckTake2 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsors of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Wow, Autumn. That was phenomenal. But you know what I like to do when
I like to yap.
You know when you drink Dubby Energy and you want that clear head, whether you're going for a workout or if you're playing games. Once you get home and you can relax and you need to calm yourself down from the Dubby Energy, you can light a candle, Autumn.
Yes, you can. You can light a candle with Alley Rose fragrances. Discover our collection of handcrafted candles made with clean, minimal ingredients. Every product is thoughtfully created in small batches. Hold on, I got to burp. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Free from harmful toxins. For mindful everyday indulgence, our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, which offer long-lasting burn and rich fragrance. Made with clean, toxin-free ingredients, they create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home. Order candles from Alley Rose Fragrances right now by using the QR code on your screen. If you're a first-time customer, use the code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Autumn, that was great.
I tried. I'm sorry for burping.
Oh, man. So I want to move on a little bit, Autumn.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about some other basketball news that's come to light.
Yes. You want to whack them first, or do you want me to whack them first?
No, you got it. Because you said some things on Jersey Chasers, and I just need you to say it again to remind our audience before I have something to say.
Okay, I asked you about this yesterday. You literally read my text messages and then didn't say anything. And I'm like, I don't know.
So you know how it feels now when people read your text messages and don't say anything?
You know.
You understand that now. You see? Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up. So now you can sit there and sulk in the feeling of getting ignored.
Can you just tell me what I said? Because sometimes I talk and I don't understand what I'm saying.
It was the whole premise of the take. No, you proceed with the news that's transpired in the NBA and the beef.
Oh, yes. One, Mr. Draymond Green. So Draymond Green has found himself into 2 beefs. Not one, but 2 beefs. The first beef is with Austin Rivers. If you don't know who Austin Rivers is, Austin Rivers was the son of Doc Rivers. He was in the NBA. Him and Draymond were actually drafted within the same draft class. Austin Rivers was a National Player of the Year, was a #1 recruit out of Florida, goes to Duke, gets drafted to the NBA, plays. I forgot where he played before he got to the Clippers, but he gets to the Clippers. He plays with his father. The Clippers give him a astronomical contract. He plays his time out the Clippers, goes to a couple other teams, retires from the league, and is now an announcer. So him and Draymond have been going back and forth over the last week. But Austin Rivers got on his platform and said, look, Draymond, like, I was a National Player of the Year. I was a Naismith Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, all this stuff. And he said, and you are the luckiest player in the NBA. You were the backpack to one Steph Curry. He was like, think about this. You are surrounded by 3 Hall of Famers, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Andre Iguodala. He said all 3 of those guys were Hall of Fame talent. One of them literally won a Finals MVP, and I still think that was the dumbest thing that could ever happen.
He got that Finals MVP because he had to guard LeBron James.
Literally, and just because LeBron didn't go out for 50 every game. That's literally the only reason why. He just held him to a cool 40. That's how he got a Finals MVP. But that's not the only thing. So him and Austin Rivers did a slight back and forth. He didn't respond to him, but then he goes on Inside the NBA on ESPN. He fills in for Shaq, and him and Chuck kind of get into a back and forth, but not in a like real back and forth, because Charles Barkley is a person that I would never take serious. He is literally he's a good announcer, he's a good commentator, he's a good color analysis, but everything that he says is ridiculous to me. He is also one of the funniest people I've ever seen on television. But him and Charles, him and Charles were going back and forth, and Charles essentially was like, look, you're on an older team. You kind of need to start looking at retirement. He's like, you guys are not the team that you once were. And he was like, look, and Charles gave him a bunch of compliments. He was like, you're a Hall of Fame team. You played with a bunch of Hall of Famers. And Draymond tried to come back at Charles because he has this chip on his shoulder of like, I'm Draymond Green. Everybody's underestimating me. And he was like, well, we can't all be you in Houston. And the entire internet is tearing his ass a new one. They were like, if only you were Chuck when he was in Houston. Charles Barkley, y'all, averaged 16, 10, and 4 in Houston in 1998.
So do you believe Draymond is lucky?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Think about this. He lucks into a situation in Golden State where Golden State completely, literally, honestly, they didn't have to get rid of Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson could have still been their coach. They probably still would have did as well. But you weren't the best player in 2015. You cost your team a championship in 2016. In 2017,
he cost his team a championship in 2016.
If he doesn't go out in Game 5, the Warriors probably win it. He was, ironically enough, I may not like him. He was one of the best players in that series. In Game 7, he was the best player in Game 7.
He was the best player in Game 7.
Yes,
when it's on the line.
He showed
he
his
had
value.
Game 7. He had 32 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists. He was super efficient. He went 11-15 from the floor and shot 6 of 8 of 3-point line. How can you call someone that puts those numbers up lucky?
Let me get to it.
No,
you cut me off it.
No, because I'm sick of people calling him lucky. Let
me get to it. Let me get to it. No, for real. No, let me get to it. I'm dead ass.
Go ahead.
So again, 2017, you luck up into Kevin Durant. 2017, 2018, you get to the finals. You win the finals with Kevin Durant. Then next year, you run Kevin Durant off with your mouth, and you mouth everything. Then the next couple years, you literally rebuild it to where you have a much healthier, younger team that you can go all the way with, that you do eventually go all the way with. But one of those essential pieces, you punch him in the face because he calls you Steph Curry's backpack, and effectively in his career in that city, you run off all the other players, and now you are the last remnants of
who would you rather have, Draymond Green or Jordan Poole?
Jordan Poole, he's younger.
No, that's absolutely crazy. Jordan Poole is trash. You need a role player You need a role player. So are you calling all role players that won championships lucky? Calling role players lucky because they were tailor-made for that offense.
You know what? No.
That's like calling Steve Kerr lucky because he had a game-winning shot over Utah to win or Steve Kerr lucky because he won a game-winning shot with the Bulls against Utah to seal the finals. That's calling every role player lucky.
You're using Steve Kerr as an example. I love that you use Steve Kerr as an example because Steve Kerr was once a Cleveland Cavalier, and Steve Kerr was an essential part of the Cleveland Cavaliers' success in the 90s. And only because they couldn't get past Michael Jordan and the Bad Boys, they didn't win. And then they trade Steve Kerr, and he's still an effective player. If you put Draymond Green on any other team outside the Golden State Warriors, is he an all-time Hall of Fame player?
You don't know that. Because he was tailor-made for that role. The way he ran the pick and roll.
No.
Let me read.
Using Steve Kerr as an example. That is a Hall of Fame player,
Hall of Fame player,
Hall of Fame coach who was on two different teams and played the same. You know what? Let me give you another role player.
You know what? Because they needed someone like Steve Kerr for his area. So in 2017, no. Let me go. I'll let you speak.
I'm actually going to give you another comp.
In 2017, when Draymond Green won Defensive Player of the Year, what did that have to do with the teammates he was with? Absolutely nothing. 5-time NBA All-Defense first team. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with it? Then you have people like Austin Rivers calling the man lucky. He played 707 games, right? Never had a triple-double in his career. Had one double-double in his career, and you're going to take Austin Rivers' word for calling him lucky? For calling him, Draymond had 33 triple-doubles. One of those triple-doubles, he only had 4 points. They were with steals, block, and rebounds. He was the ultimate role player. People going around calling role players lucky is absolutely asinine. So Kyle Korver, luck? No. Role players can't be called lucky when they're tailor-made for that. You put Draymond in an offensive scheme where he capitalizes off the pick and roll, and he runs that very well with Steph Curry. Did he benefit off that? Of course. Did he get some of those assists? Of course. But if it could have been done with another player, it would have, but it wasn't.
David, okay, we want to talk about you want to know what? Because you're saying role players, right? I'm gonna give you two examples. I'm gonna give you
4-time NBA All-Star. 4-time NBA All-Star.
I'm gonna give you two great examples of two role players that one who I actually is a great comp to Draymond Green. One is Vernon Maxwell. Vernon Maxwell was not Vernon Maxwell. What is his name? It's the one that always insults Utah. He's been on All the Smoke.
Look, it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter?
He's a great comp. You want to know why? He's a great comp because he played on them Elijah Wan, Houston teams. He played in Seattle with the Supersonics. He played in all these. He played on the Spurs with him, and he himself would say he benefited from a lot of those. Hell, when we talk about role players, of course, benefit from everything.
You're supposed to put role players that are tailor-made for your superstars.
Absolutely.
Nobody else could have did what Draymond Green did.
But you can't say that Draymond Green isn't lucky. He is incredibly lucky. He played with 3 Hall of Famers.
No, he's
and a Hall of Fame coach.
I'm gonna say this. Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. How?
Again.
I just read it off to you. I just read it off to you.
Take him off the Warriors. Put him on any other team. Mm-hmm. Is he a Hall of Famer then? Not the same. No. Take him off the Warriors.
Who says those Warriors teams win without him? Because those Warriors teams were soft. And you know who they had to enforce? Draymond Green. He enforced.
Yes. He enforced. He kicked somebody in the nuts. He stepped on somebody's chest. He literally hit LeBron James in the nuts to where he called him a bitch. Yes, that's an enforcer.
Yeah, that's an enforcer. What do you want? Do you want an enforcer that eats with a spoon and fork, or do you want an enforcer that eats with his hands?
Yes,
You want
the man
want
who
somebody
choked
like
out-
that.
Who
Gritty.
tried to choke out Rudy Gobert not even 50 seconds into a game because he
Good.
just really doesn't
Good.
like Rudy Gobert.
It's in
I'm
their
gonna just
head.
say this.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's not a lucky player.
If
All
you
the
don't
stat-
think he's a lucky player,
Autumn, he in
David,
2017,
put
he
him on
led the
any
league
other
in
team.
steals. How
Put
does
him
that
on
have
any other
anything to
team in
do
his era.
with the other Warriors?
David, he had a team where he was facilitated by two of the greatest shooters of all time. Put him on the team without two of the greatest shooters of all time. Is he an effective player? Probably not. That is the
He
argument.
is an effective
about
player.
it.
He is an effective player. No, he's an effective player. What are you talking?
David.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about a
What are we
man
talking about?
who is incredibly lucky. You can't say that he's not lucky. He's played with two.
He's
He's
not-
played with seven. He's played with four Hall of Famers. He's played with four
not.
Hall of Famers.
Absolutely.
He played with four people. He has a Hall. He
is-
actually
is
has
D-
two coaches that could have.
Is
gone to
Dennis
Hall of
Rodman
Fame.
lucky? Is Dennis Rodman lucky?
No, Dennis Rodman is actually
No.
an incredibly hardworking guy who didn't
Yeah.
even play basketball until he started going
Yeah.
to community
So
college.
he-
He taught
so
himself
he's
how
he's
to
not
play
lucky,
basketball.
but he played with Michael Jordan and he played with the Detroit Bad Boys. Is he lucky because
Think
he
about-
played with them?
Think about what I'm
Absolutely
just saying.
not.
No, you're
Absolutely
purposely
not.
ignoring what I just said about Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman literally did not play basketball until he got into community college. He forced himself
cares
to
about-
learn
that's
how to
not
play
the point.
basketball.
What
He was a
what
role
about-
player.
Absolutely
That is
not.
not-
What does his history in basketball leading up to the
If
NBA
you're
have
comparing
anything
Dennis
to do
Rodman
with the NBA? It has
if you're
absolutely nothing.
comparing Dennis Rodman to Draymond Green, I will slap the shit out of you. I'm
No,
not even
and
joking.
that's
They
exactly
are
what I'm doing.
two
That's
completely
exactly
different
what I'm
players.
doing. That's exactly
Any
what
day
I'm
of the
doing.
week, I would take prime Dennis Rodman over prime Draymond Green. You will Dennis Rodman was a beast.
Dennis
was
Rodman
a
was
level
a
of-
glorified role player.
He was a beast. He literally the way that
No, he is a beast, just like
he was
Draymond's a beast. Just given
David.
he got the boards, but at the
David.
same time, Dennis Rodman would never win a championship by
But you
himself.
know what?
He
You wanna
would
know what?
never win a championship without Isaiah Thomas. He would have never won a championship without Michael Jordan. So what are we talking about?
You want to know what? I'm gonna just say this about Draymond Green. If he's going to, I'm gonna say this. We're gonna get off his career, but I'm gonna say this in relation to the whole Charles Barkley thing. If he wants to be the next Charles Barkley, if he wants to be the guy that says all the
He's better
controversial
than
things-
Charles Barkley. What are you talking about? He
I'm
will never
not-
be the next. He has 4 rings that says I am not Charles Barkley.
I'm not talking about NBA career. I'm talking about post-playing career. If he wants that notoriety that I want to be the controversial guy on TV that talks about my career and he has to get thicker skin. The way that he came at Charles Barkley was crazy. And the fact that the entire internet was like, you wish you were Charles Barkley in Houston, because everybody was like, if Charles Barkley doesn't get hurt in Houston, they probably win another championship against Michael Jordan and would have been Charles's first. And we know why Charles doesn't have a championship, the era that he played in, and all of a sudden, I think Draymond Green needs to get thicker skin if he's going to work in a business that is based in people roasting each other. Hell, you let Ernie Johnson roast you and tell you that you have the second most turnovers in a game, turnover games, and you're tied with Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, why?
You let Ernie Johnson
Why-
punk your ass.
Why
You
are
let
people?
Ernie Johnson punk your
Why
ass.
are people like
because you-
Charles Barkley and Austin Rivers even trying to hold a candle to Draymond Green?
It's
It
not
doesn't make
even- it's
sense.
not
No,
even
it doesn't
about
make
it, though,
sense.
but if
They
you-
can talk
this
all
is-
the shit they want, but they'll never be on his
David,
level.
David, it's not about being on your level. If you're in the media, we're both in media, and you're going to talk your shit. Don't be surprised when other people come back and talk their shit back. That's his problem, is that he's going to talk his shit and going to talk about Austin Rivers and how Austin Rivers is incredibly lucky because he got a $200 million contract because
He
his
is
daddy
lucky.
was the coach.
He's a
Every-
Nepo baby. He was the first of his kind. Everybody wants to talk about Bronny, but it's Austin Rivers.
Austin
King,
Rivers,
he's
Austin
King
Rivers
Nepo baby.
was- Austin Rivers was a national recruit. He was the number 1 player in Florida. He was the Naismith Player of the Year.
What?
He went to Duke. That's
Oh,
not nepotism. That's fucking talent.
What did he do to earn the max contract? Absolutely nothing. You can talk about all the
Again.
talent you want in college. Look,
Absolutely.
look at
but this
no,
is the
that's
thing.
college
We're
doesn't.
talking
His
about this
college
right now. We're talking
talent
about this right
didn't
now.
translate to the NBA.
Because think about this, David. Draymond is the one that opened this can of worms. If you don't open this can of worms, don't let people come back at you.
No, but he wasn't
has
wrong.
to-
People
No,
are in
but
their feelings because he was
I'm
right,
not
and they want to call him lucky. And honestly, the stats prove he's not. The stats prove he's not.
The stats prove that he was wrong about Chuck in Houston. He said, "I'd rather not be Chuck in Houston," and everybody's like, "You wish you were Charles Barkley in Houston." Charles Barkley was the second leading scorer and the second most efficient player on that Houston team.
And
what are we talking about?
I'm with Draymond. Why would I want to be with him when he didn't win shit? Draymond has 4 championships.
David, we are talking about in the context of what he was talking about in that
no
moment.
we can keep using the what ifs. The what if he didn't get hurt? What if he took care of his body enough to not do it? No, it is about a what if.
About a what
You're saying what if he didn't get injured? What if that? shots fired, and you know what that means. We got to take a quick break because it's getting a little heated in here. It's getting a little heated about Draymond
because David don't want to
Sir Charles. We're going to go on a quick break. We're going to show you guys a little bit about the other shows in our network, and we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Autumn, we've had a couple minutes to cool down.
Yes, I don't want to keep talking about Draymond Green. Let's move on to something else. Let's move on to the trial of Stephon Diggs. It was a 2-day trial in Massachusetts. Diggs was accused of misdemeanor assault and battery. This related to apparently a December 16th, 2025 incident where he is accused of slamming and choking his then chef Mila Adams. The trial took place just earlier this week. It was a 2-day trial. Diggs was acquitted of all charges. There were 10 witnesses on the stand, from his financial advisors to his assistants to close confidants. And now Mila looks a little interesting. The jury deliberated just for 90 minutes. And David, what do you think? Because I'm going to give my opinion after you give your opinion.
So I went, after you told me we were going to talk about this, on a intense TikTok deep dive into this trial. Intense. And I've never seen someone sit on the stand and lie so much in my entire life. Couldn't give straight answers. The lawyers were chopping her to pieces constantly, to the point where she was like, she deserves an Oscar. She deserves an Oscar, because at one point they asked her a question and she's sitting there. I'm going to need a minute. No, you're not going to need a minute. You're trying to think of the next lie you're going to tell this jury. There was a couple of times the judge came over and the judge is like, you're not going to try to spin this into your own narrative, or your whole testimony is going to be dismissed, because of the amount of bullshit she was spewing. I don't understand why it took the jury so long to deliberate to give an answer. To me, it was clean cut. The way she was talking, they showed that video of her dancing after her alleged assault. You know why she was dancing? I have an idea. We don't know the context of that dance, but after she sent her text messages and did what she did, press charges or attempted to after the assault, she was dancing, thinking she was going to get a damn payday. She was celebrating. She thought this was her big ticket. I can't believe it went so long. Do I believe he may have slapped her? Maybe, to the point, who knows? Like, as you said in the past, he's had assault accusations that happened in the past, but if the slap don't fit, you must acquit, and that's what they did.
Okay, stop talking. Let me get to this realness. Okay, so first of all, the fact that she has to make me somewhat defend a man, shame on you, lady. Shame on you. I do not like defending men. Okay. Number one. That's number one. Number two. Stephon Diggs has credible accusations of physical violence before this. He has had several credible accusations. Let's just say that. So the fact that this got to trial is something I was like, what did they have? Because I'm looking at this trial, I'm looking at all the videos, I'm looking at all the clips, and in my mind, I'm just thinking about, how did this get past the discovery stage? Because if you don't know what the stages are, you have to go through a discovery stage where you go over all the evidence, you compile it all, then you give that to a jury, a grand jury. The grand jury somehow came out with charges through all this discovery. You brought in misdemeanor charges, which misdemeanors and felonies are two different things. Misdemeanors could somehow lead to jail time, but felonies could, it's just a whole thing. So you come back with charges. You put her on the stand as a witness. She gets on the stand, openly admits to deleting text messages, calling him a pussy, calling him out of his name, saying all these different things. She's reminiscing about the fact that they had sex. She's talking about him having sex with other women. She's talking about the fact that the reason why she was mad at him is because they were supposed to go to Art Basel, and she was actually supposed to go to Art Basel with him and then girlfriend Cardi B. But he said, no, I don't want you to go. Me and her are gonna go. So she got mad at him. Then you have his financial team coming out being like, yeah, she was all right, but she was also stealing money from him because she was submitting receipts for stuff she had already submitted receipts for. Then you have the assistant coming out being like, yeah, we knew her. She was an all right chef, but she wasn't like cool and she didn't really make good food. And I'm like, how did this even get to a trial?
Mhm.
What did these detectives do to be like, you know what? She's a credible witness. We're gonna put her on a stand. We're gonna put this evidence to the test, and this is gonna convict him. If I was a grand jury and I saw the stuff that they had, he wouldn't have got an indictment. He wouldn't have got an indictment.
I think one of the reasons is
There was
because,
no-
but one of the reasons is if he did in fact do it and they didn't go all the way, they would have been looked at in such a negative light. Maybe she's crying wolf, but if she wasn't crying wolf, how would we have viewed the situation? What are some of the topics you would have talked on Jersey Chasers about the situation? You would have been putting them through the ringer. So they kind of
absolutely.
They kind of had to do it from looking at it from that side of things.
Oh, and I don't blame anybody for taking an accusation of physical violence seriously. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is there is credible evidence within the fact that her lawyers were yelling at her while she's on the stand, admitting that she deleted text messages, like literally yelling objection, objection, objection. The fact that a prosecution team even came out and said, yeah, we don't really like her either is even crazier.
It's insane.
So when I say I don't understand how it got this far, I truly, like, y'all, I've been watching law stuff. I've been watching trials since I was a kid. My aunt literally used to watch court TV when she would watch me. So I know how a trial works. I know how a jury trial works. I truly don't understand how it got to this point, because from the evidence, like, there was no evidence of, like, there was no pictures. Like, usually they'll have photo evidence of the bruises. Multiple people were asked in the trial, did you see her have bruises? One girl literally was like, she was in my face and I didn't see bruises. And the prosecution was like, well, were you looking for them? She was like, no. But if somebody is badly bruised and she's been choked like she says she is, if you're looking at her, you can tell that she's been choked.
Yeah, her statements and testimonies changed so many times. So one of the things that the prosecutors or the lawyers were asking her, they're like, does he get tackled by 300-pound men for his job? And she's gonna say, I don't know. I don't watch football. And then she proceeds to tell them, after they ask her, have you been to any of his games? Have you watched his football games? How many shows have you been? How many games have you been to? She's like, a few. So you're telling me you went to a football game to watch a wide receiver play and said he didn't get tackled by 300-pound men? Then they ask her, you told us that he used, out of a 10 out of 10 scale, or 0 out of 100, he used a 10 amount of force, 100% amount of force. When it left no marks, she tried to say, this isn't about him. This is about me. This is what I feel a 10 is. And that's absolutely crazy. She was dipping and diving and trying to swim in her lies, but the truth kept coming to light the more she spoke. Yeah, I didn't watch all the court shows you've seen, but I've seen Suits a couple of times, and I know that's not how you speak when a lawyer is asking you a question.
Suits is crazy. No, honestly, if you watch any base trial, that be a misdemeanor trial or a felony trial, when I say it's very easy for this to not have gotten to a jury, honestly. But then I'm thinking about where they're at. They're in Massachusetts, and I'm thinking about they probably are in Massachusetts is a very weird state when it comes to trials. it's a lot of corruption going on in the Massachusetts justice system, and it's just crazy. But yeah, no, that's not even the only crazy thing that's going on with the Patriots.
Right.
But yeah, Stephon Diggs found not guilty, he's acquitted of all charges, which means he cannot be charged for the same crime twice, because in America we have this thing called double jeopardy, which means you cannot be charged twice. So if she wants to bring it as a civil suit and then release more evidence, then she probably can. But as of now, she will not be, and Stephon Diggs is her free agent. And I think a lot of teams are probably looking at this trial to be like, let's see what happens, and then we'll probably bring him on. I still don't think any team should bring him on. I think he's a liability. He's showing you he's a liability. But
I think there's a couple teams that could use Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I think a couple teams probably, but I think a couple teams probably were like, yes. So the other accusation is against Milan. Milan used to be on a show called Basketball Wives Orlando. She used to date Taco Fall. Like
that's crazy.
She has a credible account of physical violence against Stephon Diggs. But we have to talk about Mike Vrabel and Diana Russini.
Oh man.
I swear every week something else comes about these two. And I'm at this point, I'm like, who is finding this information? So the information that has come out since, again, there have now been photos going back to 2020 of them kissing in a bar. They were seen in 2022 in a Las Vegas casino after he got fired. Of course, the whole hand-holding pictures in Arizona is what started this, but now somebody found documentation of Diana Russini and Mike Vrabel renting a boat together and signing their names on a paper, and they sold this to TMZ. And then somebody found a video of that same day of a very pregnant Diana Russini going on a boat with Mike Vrabel. And I just want to know, number one, who is the PI that's finding all this information? Number two, how open was the secret that the two of them together? And number three, if their spouses didn't know, it was the worst kept secret. I think their spouses probably did know and probably was like, hey, don't blast this everywhere. But a lot of people have come to the thing of, if this was a black coach in the NFL, he would have already been fired. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now, it don't matter. It don't matter because he's coaching the New England Patriots.
Look, the Patriots love a scandal. Whether it's Robert Kraft, whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's Bill Belichick, whether it's all the Gates, they love a scandal. And this is another one of those things.
Robert Kraft was literally caught in a sex trafficking ring. He literally got caught in a trafficking ring. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, he doesn't, like, they don't care. Don't care. Like, they genuinely don't care. Like, at all.
How do you think this is going to turn out? What do you think is going to come of this?
I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's going to be asked about this for the rest of his career. I don't think she's ever going to work again. I think she's probably going to go away for a while. She deleted her social media accounts. She also had a weird playlist called Turning the Page that was like kind of romantic in a way. And a lot of people found it. Yeah, it was very weird. It's very strange. But I don't think she's gonna. I don't think she's really gonna work. I think she may work again, probably with Dan Le Batard's company, Meadowlark Media, because he likes her. But I don't think she's ever gonna get a national job like she had at the Athletic or at ESPN. I think she's probably gonna like go away for a couple years, raise her kids, stay out of the spotlight, and then she'll come back in a few years.
All right, guys, we have one more thing to show you guys before our last take. It is the Inside Edge Network's official website, and it's coming up next.
Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
Awesome. There's one thing I want to talk about. It's probably not a you take, honestly, but I just want to bring a little bit of light to it. You'll understand. It's about boxing.
Okay. This is all your corner.
Yeah. July 4th, a big announcement came out for July 4th, where we have up and coming star Abdullah Mason. He is currently the WBO champion of the world. He's also 20-0 with 17 knockouts. He's local. He's from Cleveland. He will be headlining a huge fight at the Wolstein Center. It'd be his first title defense. Who it's against, I'll have more information for you guys next week. But what's really cool about this card at the Wolstein Center, Autumn, Tiger Johnson, he's also a Cleveland guy. He was a 2021 Olympian. He represented the boxing team in Cleveland in the Summer Olympics. He's currently 17-0. Another up-and-coming star signed with Top Rank. This is a big deal for Cleveland and Cleveland fighters. It's going to put Cleveland on the map. So make sure you guys go out and show them support. I've been watching them for a long time, since their amateur days. Tiger Johnson, for instance. If you guys don't know, I grew up boxing. I've seen a lot of these guys fight in the amateurs from a young age. First time I saw Tiger Johnson fight was at the Junior Olympics. He was like 8 years old. He fought a kid from our gym, which they're actually best friends now, which is crazy. They weigh the same weight. It was like 68 pounds or something like that, 65 pounds. And they grew up together, always fighting each other, which is a really cool concept. And the fact that they're best friends is insane. But yeah, I'm really excited for those fights to come up. We're going to see who their opponents are. We were running up against it, so I'll talk about it more next week. But if you're in the Cleveland area, please support your local fighters. Allow them to bring bigger things on the map. I've talked about it before. One of the reasons I respect Jake Paul is for what he did with Cleveland boxing and women's boxing specifically, and bringing the main stage to Cleveland. Go and support these guys so we can have these kind of shows at Rocket, so we can have these kind of shows, hope maybe in the new dome that's going to open up here in a couple years. Look, I'm talking out of excitement. I'm talking out of, this is what we want to see for Cleveland sports. Two individual guys. It's not like Stipe, where he came from overseas and he went to the MMA. He trained in Cleveland. No, these are homegrown guys. Go support the homegrown guys. That's all I had to say, Otto. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, I'm gonna let you clear out and do your thing. No, just a couple more things before we get off the air. Joel Embiid is ruled out for the Sixers Knicks game 3. That's game 3 because game 2 was last night. He is ruled out with a knee and I think it's a hip or something like that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That man is hurt. He got hurt in the Boston series. They were treating him like a rag doll, trying to get him through that series. Somehow they get through that series. He just had appendix surgery like less than a month ago, so he's been through it this season. And then while we were on the air, Travis Wazana, Cleveland's Aussie from Oregon State, our number 1 pick, hits his first MLB home run.
That's huge.
Yes, the team is currently 20-19 on the season. They've been very up and down. Every time they get a little momentum, they lose a couple games and then get that momentum right back. Him and Chase DeLauder been pretty damn good this season.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. Chase DeLauder, very much on track to be Rookie of the Year this year. Again, his first 4 games, he had home runs in almost every single one of them. Mm-hmm. Jose Ramirez, of course, is doing his thing. Stephen Kwan, silently having an okay season, needs to be a little bit better by the All-Star break. But the team is actually doing consistently good. Their only Achilles heel is that bullpen. That bullpen got to get it together.
It's a long season.
It is a long season, but currently right now, and then as I'm speaking, I think they are up. They were up 4-0 last time I saw. They are playing on Apple TV on Apple's Friday Night Baseball. So I think it's still 4-0. I'm almost positive.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, but any other stories we didn't get to? I'm trying to look. I'm trying to see. And then the WNBA's 30th season starts tonight as well. And then in the Kentucky Derby, Cherie DeVoe she's the first woman to win the Kentucky Derby. We did forget one thing.
What did we forget, Autumn?
Jaylen Brown.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say it like I said on Jersey Chasers. Take the microphones and the streaming cameras away from certain people. Please.
That's not what you said. No, that's not what you said on Jersey Chasers. I watched. I watched.
I said take the microphones away from all men.
Correct your ass. I was watching the show. I was watching the show.
From all men. I did say that.
Talk
and
that
I
shit now.
by it.
Talk that shit
now. I stand
now.
by it 100%. Take the microphones and the streaming cameras away from all men. I'm sick of it. Because why are you talking about a game that happened 2 days ago saying that, the refs knew what they were doing, the game is rigged, and we have a flopping problem in this league? Now, we all know that's true, but why are you saying this?
Let him say it. It has to be talked about.
Get off the stream.
You're gonna penalize that man for stating the truth. That's like penalizing me for telling you how Draymond Green isn't a lucky player.
We're not gonna talk about Draymond Green.
It just
we're
all
talking
comes
about Jaylen Brown now.
It all comes full circle, Autumn. It all comes full. You can't penalize someone for telling the truth.
Yes, I can, but Jaylen Brown
that's
was
crazy.
Again, this is less than 2 days after they were knocked out of the playoffs in one of the worst playoff performances. Joe Mazzulla, what is he doing? What is he doing?
You're going to talk about him about confronting the refs when Jokic, right after he got eliminated, was at the Kentucky Derby, living his best life.
But he wasn't.
Then that stems back to when we talked about Jokic and people criticizing him.
We know Jokic doesn't care. We know he doesn't care. We know he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
But with the Jaylen Brown of it all, get the hell off a stream. Nobody. No. First of all, why do you have a stream? Second of all,
did you see the Lakers game last night?
Yes, I saw what happened.
Did you saw the team
Austin
meeting
Reeves,
after the game?
And
because it's getting out of control.
It really is. Honestly, you know what?
It is. Did you see the bullshit chat try to pull with the foul that they called back because he flopped and it touched him nowhere near the face?
Honestly,
they have to hold him accountable.
I will say this. When it comes to certain teams, I will say this. Oklahoma City, they have to get this Oklahoma City thing under control because it is every single game. When I say every single game with Oklahoma City, there are more things that people are finding. And it's not just because they're good. I think a lot of people are saying like, people are hating on Oklahoma City because they're good. No, that's not the point. Oklahoma City is a good team without the meaningless foul calls and the flopping and what's his name that be trying to hurt everybody's ankle. What is his name?
On
Oklahoma City. He's trying to hurt like 5 people's ankles this season.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Joel, you know who I'm talking about. He's on Oklahoma City. He's known as a dirty player on Oklahoma City. Like there's been like 6 different players that are like, bruh, like get away from my ankle. Like, get away from my ankle.
Well, what are some of the incidents that happened where he tried to hurt people's ankles?
Well, he I actually last series he tried to hurt Devin Booker's ankle. Mm-hmm. He's tried to hurt Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama. Like every major player like that has to guard him, he goes for the ankles. So you have him, you have the whole Alex Caruso thing with him and Devin Booker, where Devin Booker gets called for a foul and a tech because Alex Caruso tells the ref to call a foul on Devin Booker. And Devin Booker was like, I've been playing this league a long time. I've never had that happen before in my life. And he gets a fine, and then the league comes out and it's like, yeah, that shouldn't have been a foul call. Like there is a problem in Oklahoma City, and I know some people are like, oh, it's not that big of a problem. No, it's a big problem. Oklahoma City is a big problem.
I tried to look up who you're talking about, and all it's showing me is Shy crossing people and breaking their ankles.
No, hold on.
I gotta know now. Now I gotta know because I have no clue who you're talking about. Have I been living under a rock? Because I have no idea. Who is what?
Hold on. Dort.
Oh, Lou Dort.
Lou Dort.
Man.
Yes. Lou Dort. Yes.
Leave them out of the you need a player like that though. To win championships, you need a player.
Of course, we know you need
grab
a dirty
the ankle.
player.
You need a dirty player. So we need a dirty player, just like the Golden State Warriors needed Draymond Green. See, it's all coming full circle the further we go on with the show. Also, speaking of Jersey Chasers,
yes,
how are you going to sit there with a good conscience and allow your co-host to say that those championship-winning teams on the Golden State Warriors were not that good?
David,
were not that good. You sat there and just breezed past it as she called the greatest, most winning team in NBA history. Not that good.
You want me to cook? Because
yeah,
I can go through. I can go through the fact. I can go through the fact that in 2015, the Golden State Warriors played no team that had a actual superstar up until the Cleveland Cavaliers. And even then, when they did play the Cleveland Cavaliers weren't even at full strength. And then the game that they had Kyrie and LeBron in game 1, the Golden State Warriors gets a foul call on Kyrie Irving that sends the game into overtime, which then Kyrie Irving tears his ACL and he's out for the next season. Oh, he's out until the middle of next season. No, you said let me cook.
Damn it, cook.
I'm a cook. Then in 2016, of course, they would lose to the eventual champions. They were up 3-1. They had the first unanimous all MVP. They had the greatest record in NBA history. They had all of these great players, but they lose to a team after being up 3-1. 2017, they say, you know what we need? We need Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant somehow, some way convinces himself that this is going to be a great thing, even though he only lasts for 2.5 seasons and then fights his way out in 2020. They beat a Cavs team that honestly should have won multiple games, but you know what? They don't. And then they literally in 2020 don't even get out of the first round because, COVID happened, and then LeBron and the Lakers win the bubble championship. They get beat in 2019 by Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors, a team that couldn't even afford to keep Kawhi Leonard. Then somehow, some way, they beat the Boston Celtics, a Boston Celtics team that's sorry as hell. So if they say the Warriors are not that good, I have on good authority they're not that good. And you know what? I'm cooking here, ladies and gentlemen. David, do you have anything else to say? Because I can go on and on and on and on and I can tell you about the fraudulent Golden State Warriors. You want me to? I can tell you.
They won 4 championships. Frauds that won 4 championships?
Fraud.
Oh, that team's not that good.
Frauds.
They won 4 championships.
Frauds.
They you said they played no superstars. They play. You know what you sound like, and what your other co-hosts sound like? Bitter Cleveland fans. And you didn't know.
Bitter.
No, you're bitter as hell. You're bitter as hell.
I got a championship. I'm not bitter.
Yeah, you run one, they won four.
Bitter.
They won four.
I'm not bitter.
You,
in fact,
the whole Jersey Chasers cast, bitter Cleveland fans that still hold a grudge against the Golden State Warriors.
You're bitter.
Just like I'm not bitter. Look at this, everyone. Look at how bitter she is.
Bitter, but I am spitting facts because how you gonna be a great team in 2015, but you don't beat nobody, and every single that Steph Curry would have gone against would have waxed that ass, but he couldn't.
They didn't beat anybody. They didn't beat anybody.
David, he didn't play against Mike Conley. He didn't play against
Mike Conley.
Mike Conley in 2015. Mike Conley in 2015 with an all-star, team.
Mike Conley.
They didn't play anybody. Any of the teams that would have gone at them, any of the players that would have shit on them, they didn't. And then they got to the finals.
No team shitted on them the entire season. They didn't get shit on once.
And the Cavaliers should have beat them in game one. The Cavaliers literally almost won the series, but Matthew Dellavedova shut Steph Curry down in game 4 of that series to the fact that he played himself hospital.
See, that's how Cleveland fans' narrative is.
Cleveland would have won that series.
You say Matthew Dellavedova pushed himself to the hospital. No, Steph Curry put him in the hospital. That's the realization about it. Steph Curry put Matthew Dellavedova in the hospital.
David
had him running like a soccer match.
David is bitter, but y'all
bitter. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You are bitter.
I'm not bitter. You're bitter. I'm the one giving the Warriors their accolades while you're calling them frauds. They're not frauds. They're the greatest winning team. They have the greatest shooters of all time. They have the greatest role player of all time. And you're just bitter. That's it.
David is a troll.
I'm not a troll. Anybody watching that has any damn sense would agree that calling them bad is crazy.
David is
crazy. They have a hospital for people like you. That is crazy.
It's okay. All I'm just hearing is that you can't handle the conversation. It's all right. It's okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, everybody. It's been real. It's been fun. We got to get off air before Autumn tries to strangle me through the TV, through your monitors, through your phones, whatever you're watching on. Once again, I am the DAVID, the real Ruiz. This is everyone's favorite season, Autumn. We are on the Inside Edge Network. Please follow Mike Check Take 2, the Inside Edge Network, all of our pages. Check out all of our sponsors. We have a bunch of great deals for you guys there. Inside Edge Net. Check us out. Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. The list goes on and on. If you're interested in any of our promos from Fanatics to Allie Rose, please click the QR code. It'll take you to everything. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Until next week.